Part 41. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Ken Ru Xiahua. Chapter 401. My expectations were raised involuntarily. Li Yuan was a legendary figure in the school, a talented man, and a multimillionaire. The birthday party he personally organized must be extraordinary. Bai Wuxi herself didn't know the specific location of the birthday party. Li Yuan just told her to tell him the number of people attending the birthday party. She didn't need to ask anything else. She just had to dress up beautifully and wait in the school. Bai Wuxi pursed her lips and smiled. I don't know exactly where it is. Li Yuan asked us to wait for him to pick us up at school. Wang Lisha asked again, oh, so, is Li Yuan preparing a big surprise? He is making it so mysterious. Wuxi, are only a few of us roommates going? Bai Wuxi nodded, then shook her head. There are a few of us, as well as Kong Kong, King Yu, Zhou and several of my high school classmates, about a dozen people. As for Li Yuan, I don't know if he has invited anyone else. When Li Yuan asked her how many people there were, she thought of only inviting a few college classmates who had a good relationship with her, and not notifying the others. Wang Lisha suddenly whispered in her ear, Wuxi, have you told Ting Yu? Bai Wuxi nodded, I told her, she's going too. Great, Wang Lisha couldn't help but give a thumbs up when she heard that Bai Wuxi's rival in love was also going. She felt a little embarrassed when she thought about that scene. Ting Yu is going too. Ding Shanshan and the others felt inexplicable emotions when they heard Bai Wuxi's answer. Sometimes they really couldn't figure out what the relationship between Bai Wuxi and Zhong Tingyu was now. They were obviously rivals in love, but they were not as tense and slandering each other as imagined. But how good is the relationship? That may not be the case. They can also clearly feel the tense atmosphere when the two are together at the same time. Now, Bai Wuxi wants to invite Zhong Tingyu to attend her birthday party. Wouldn't it be embarrassing at that time? They were just talking. At this time, Zhong Tingyu also opened the bedroom door and walked in. In an instant, the discussion in the dormitory suddenly decreased a lot. Wang Lisha, Deng Maiki and other girls shut up at the same time, and the atmosphere suddenly became a little more tense. This situation has been existing since Li Yuan's affair was exposed, and everyone is almost used to it. Seeing that everyone was staring at her, Zhong Tingyu smiled lightly, and she had guessed something in her heart. She first looked at Bai Wuxi, then looked at the other roommates, smiled lightly, and asked, Sisters, is there anyone who wants to go shopping with me now? As soon as Zhong Tingyu's words came out, some people were still confused, and some girls understood it instantly and raised their hands. Ding Shanshan was the first to speak, Tingyu, I'll go. Su Tingro also raised her hand, I'll go too. Wang Lisha and Deng Maiki looked at each other and nodded secretly. It was only 12 noon, and there were more than 2 hours before the class at 2:30 in the afternoon. It was just right to go shopping and buy a birthday present for Bai Wuxi. Wang Lisha smiled and said, Tingyu, let's go together. He, let's go, I have to pick a gift for Wei 11. Deng Maiki had already changed her shoes and fixed her hair. Wei 11, don't go, wait for us in the dormitory. In the blink of an eye, it was almost time for school to end in the afternoon. A taxi stopped outside the north gate of Daxia University, and 2 men and 1 woman got off. Xiaoshui, Brother Yuan asked us to go to their school first. Did Brother Yuan tell you where he is now? Su Ji asked curiously. They wanted to take a taxi directly to the restaurant where the birthday party was held, but Li Yuan insisted that they come to Daxia University first. It was a bit unclear what Li Yuan meant. Wang Shui looked at his good buddy holding hands with Wang Yuchen, and a strange look flashed in his eyes. He thought, having money is good, and the relationship that was about to break up is now as good as before. Like Suji, after listening to Li Yuan's words, He also tried every possible way to scrape together and spent a huge amount of money to buy 20,000 yuan of Biguanti stocks. Late last night, I received a call from Suji. When I heard Li Yuan say that he could consider selling the stocks in his hands, I had already sold all the stocks in my hands when the stock market opened this morning, and made a net profit of more than 100,000 yuan. In less than a month, I earned all the tuition and living expenses for 4 years of college. This feeling of filling money in a sack made both of them a little addicted. When money comes quickly, it is natural to spend money, and it is also much more generous. In the past few days, Suji has really spent a lot of money to please Wang Yuchen. Various gifts and small surprises have continued, and he has truly experienced the feeling of being a rich second generation. Brother Yuan should be in school. Let's call him first and ask. Wang Shui called Li Yuan and soon got a reply from Li Yuan. Brother Yuan said that we should go find Bai Wuxi first, as he will be here in a while. Suji nodded, smiled at Wang Yuchen, and said, Yuchen, tell Xiaobai that we have arrived at her school. Wang Yuchen hadn't seen her best friend for a while, and she was looking forward to it. She immediately took out her phone and called Bai Wuxi. Xiaobai, we are at the north gate of your school. Will you come down to pick us up? Okay. We'll wait for you here. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yuchen looked at the gift in his hand and asked. Should we give the gift to Xiaobai right away, or wait until dinner? Li Yuan, this guy, is so mysterious about his birthday. I don't know where he went. It's already 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and he hasn't returned to school yet. The three of them prepared gifts in advance. Listening to Wang Yuchen's question, Suji touched his head and replied. Before, when boys celebrated their birthdays, we didn't give gifts. We just put red envelopes in them and then had a meal. What about you girls? I think you boys are just lazy. You're too lazy to prepare gifts carefully. Wang Yuchen rolled her eyes at Suji. If she hadn't reminded him, this guy wouldn't know what gifts to buy for girls. Suji coughed and explained, ahem, it's not that I'm lazy, it's mainly because I really don't know what to give, and it's more convenient to give red envelopes directly. If you don't believe it, ask Xiao Shui, we boys are all like that. Yuchen, Daji is right, we boys are indeed like that. Wang Shui smiled and nodded, Suji was telling the truth. Boys rarely give each other gifts, they just put them in red envelopes directly. In high school, each person gave 50 yuan, and the money collected by the birthday person was just enough to treat guests, which was equivalent to crowdfunding dinner. If you really want to give gifts, you can't sell them, and you have to pay hundreds of yuan to treat guests, so you can't celebrate this birthday. Wang Yuchen didn't refute, thinking about Li Yuan's financial strength, and great expectations rose in his heart. Where will Li Yuan celebrate Xiao Bai's birthday and what gift will he give her? Li Yuan is so rich and generous. He should prepare something very luxurious for Xiao Bai's birthday this time. Suji thought of what Li Yuan said last night and nodded vigorously. That's for sure. Brother Yuan is so awesome now. He is so damn rich. His net worth is over 100 million. What, Brother Yuan is already worth over 100 million, Wang Shui asked in shock. Wang Yuchen also showed shock in his eyes. He stared at Suji eagerly and asked quickly, Suji, where did you hear that? Is Li Yuan really worth over 100 million? Ahem, Brother Yuan told me himself. Suji coughed and blamed himself for being too talkative. Li Yuan asked him not to talk about stocks casually last night. Anyway, you just need to know that Brother Yuan is very rich. Wang Shui was thinking about something. He probably guessed where Li Yuan made his money. He just used 20,000 yuan of capital and earned more than 100,000 yuan from that place. With Li Yuan's wealth, he will only invest more and earn more. Wang Yuchen's eyes revealed a strange emotion, and the little thought in his heart that was gradually extinguished showed signs of revival. No matter which girl, it is impossible not to have a little covetous heart when knowing that there is such a super rich rich and handsome man around her. But thinking about the appearance of Li Yuan's girlfriends, this idea can only be an idea. After a while, a tall girl wearing a white floral dress and beige princess shoes came to the north gate of the school under the attention of the boys around. Wang Yuchen hurriedly greeted her and praised, "Wow, Xiaobai, you are so beautiful today, just like the legendary Snow White." Bai Wuxi smiled and took Wang Yuchen's hand, feeling very excited. "Yuchen, Suji, Wang Shui, long time no see." "Xiaobai, long time no see," Suji and Wang Shui also greeted with a smile. "Bai Wuxi, let's go to school first. We don't know when Li Yuan will come back." Wang Yuchen raised the beautifully wrapped gift in his hand and joked with a smile, "Xiaobai, here, this is a birthday gift for you. I hope you like it." Seeing the gifts handed over by Wang Yuchen and the other two, Bai Wuxi did not refuse the courtesy. His face was already full of happy smiles. He said softly, "Yuchen, Suji, Wang Shui, thank you for your gifts. I like them very much. If the confession fails, chase her bestie." Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 402. This was not the first time for these people to come to Daxia University, and there was not much novelty. After the four of them arrived downstairs in the girls' dormitory, Suji and Wang Shui were chatting downstairs, while Wang Yuchen followed Bai Wuxi to bring the gifts back. The dormitory. Wang Shui, "Daji, I'm curious, how much stock did Brother Yuan buy? Did he tell you?" Suji smiled and said nothing, stretching out 2 fingers. Wang Shui's eyes lit up, 2 million. Suji shook his head slightly. Wang Shui's body trembled suddenly, and his voice trembled, "Is it 20 million? Suji nodded this time. Wang Shui cursed, "Damn it, Brother Yuan bought 20 million shares, and now they are worth hundreds of millions. That's awesome. How did he get so much money? I feel more and more that Brother Yuan is unfathomable." Suji, "Who says it's not the case? Fortunately, Brother Yuan has enough brotherhood and is willing to help us make a fortune. I still have more than 100,000 in hand, and I am going to ask Brother Yuan which stock to invest in next." Wang Shui, "Hey, Brother Yuan said about buying a house in Shanghai. What did your parents say?" Suji, "When I told my parents about this before, they gave me a slap in the face. Later, when I heard that it was Brother Yuan who introduced me, I was a little moved. Now I am undecided." Wang Shui, "My situation is similar to yours, and my parents also trust Brother Yuan's vision more. However, my family's financial conditions are average. If I want to spend money to buy a house in Shanghai, it will take some trouble. Suji, both of us have more than 100,000 yuan. If we can get more, we can pay the down payment for a house." In the girls' dormitory, Wang Yuchen saw Zhong Tingyu in person for the first time, and she was a little distracted for a moment. She finally understood why this girl could take Li Yuan away from Xiaobai. With such a goddess-like appearance, figure, and aura, no boy would be confused after seeing her. Regardless of the close relationship, Wang Yuchen felt that to some extent, the girl in front of him was more outstanding than Bai Wuxi, whether it was appearance, figure, or temperament. That kind of temperament seemed to be innate, which made her flinch a little even though she originally wanted to tease him a few words. Bai Wuxi introduced to several people, "This is my high school classmate Wang Yuchen." After Zhong Tingyu said hello with a smile, she calmly played with her mobile phone. She didn't care at all about the hostility in Wang Yuchen's eyes. The other party is Bai Wuxi's high school classmate, so he will definitely be on Bai Wuxi's side, and he can't bear to see that he is too normal. She originally thought that Bai Wuxi's high school classmate would say some unpleasant things to her after seeing her, So she was ready to fight back. In order to attend tonight's birthday party, several girls put on their best-looking clothes, put on exquisite makeup, and dressed up beautifully. They gathered in dormitory 1314, and there was a lot of laughter and discussion. Wuxi, hasn't Li Yuan come back yet? It's almost 5:30, and it will be dark if we wait a little longer. Hee, I am looking forward to what kind of surprise Li Yuan will prepare for Way 11. It was so grand that I put on makeup for an hour and put on the most beautiful clothes. Wuxi, some boys in our class knew that it was your birthday and wanted to come with you. I refused decisively. They were so evil that they didn't even take a look in the mirror. Wuxi is so beautifully dressed today, like a fairy. If Li Yuan sees it, he must not be charmed to death. By the way, I've only seen Li Yuan's videos and photos online, but I haven't seen him in real life yet. Thinking about it, I'm really looking forward to it. While several girls were waiting, Bai Wuxi's cell phone ringtone suddenly rang. Looking at the caller, Bai Wuxi's eyes lit up and he quickly answered the call. It's Li Yuan's phone number. Bai Wuxi hung up the phone and looked at the people excitedly. Li Yuan said he has arrived. He is at the north gate of the school. Let us go there now. Lisa Wang urged, go quickly, I can't wait any longer. We can finally see the true face of the great talent Li in Lushan. A group of more than 10 girls marched downstairs. Su Ji and Wang Shui followed this group of girls. He secretly touched Wang Shui's arm and joked with a smile, Xiao Shui, some of these girls are pretty good looking. Don't you still have a girlfriend? Seize the opportunity tonight. Hey, Daxia University is indeed a normal university. The quality of girls is much better than our two schools. Wang Shui's heartbeat suddenly accelerated as he looked at the group of girls dressed up in colorful costumes. The school he is in is also a science and engineering university. There are 42 people in the class, and there are only 6 girls. They are all very ordinary, and there is no comparison with the dozen or so girls in front of him. Wang Shui looked at Zhong Tingyu in the crowd and asked doubtfully, Daji, that beautiful woman wearing black stockings, seems to be Brother Yuan's other girlfriend, right? Su Ji nodded, well, I've seen the video of the concert. It's her. Her name seems to be Zhong Tingyu. Wang Shui was confused. Isn't today classmate Xiaobai's birthday? Why did another girlfriend also go with me? Su Ji smiled and said, is it because she and Xiaobai are roommates? Isn't it a little too embarrassing to be together? Wang Shui, who knows, let Brother Yuan worry about it anyway. Tisk tisk, the two girlfriends are roommates. Why do I feel that Brother Yuan is playing a big game of chess? He shouldn't think about that. Su Ji's eyes lit up, and he thought of some kind of fantasy that all men long for. Does Brother Yuan still want to experience double happiness? Hee, I didn't say that. Wang Shui chuckled and winked at Su Ji, the meaning was self-evident. Soon, a group of people arrived at the north gate of the school. Hey, why are there so many people watching at the school gate? I seem to see a row of cars. It's probably caused by Li Yuan. Let's go there quickly. When the group arrived at the north gate, they were stunned by the scene in front of them. I saw. At the north gate of the school, there was a line of 6 identical luxury cars, each with flowers and balloons tied on top. The erected little golden man sparkled in the sun and dazzled the eyes of everyone around him. In front of the first Rolls-Royce, Li Yuan held a bouquet of bright red roses in his hand, leaned in front of the car, and looked at Bai Wuxi and others walking over with a smile. Wow, 6 identical Rolls-Royces, what is Li Yuan doing? Is this a wedding team? It's really the same as the procession to welcome the bride, luxury cars, flowers, balloons. Hey, did we go to the wrong set? In fact, today is not Wei 11's birthday, but Li Yuan and Wei 11's wedding. Zhou Cao, Xiao's Hui, come here quickly and take a look. What is Brother Yuan doing? He brought 6 big trucks to pick us up. This is too luxurious. Not only Wang Shui, Suji, Wang Lisa, and others were talking, but the passers-by on the roadside also exclaimed after seeing Li Yuan and the row of luxury cars, especially some girls, whose eyes were shining. This handsome guy is the legendary Xiahua talent, right? He is indeed tall, handsome, and so rich. I really envy his girlfriend. Look, Xiahua is already holding a rose in her hand and walking towards the girl. Do she want to confess her love in public? Hurry up and take a photo of the scene with your phone. Li Yuan saw Bai Wuxi and others from a distance, and was about to step forward to hand out the flowers. Suddenly, he saw Zhong Tingyu following behind them. There was a sudden excitement in my heart, and I was a little confused. Why did Zhong Tingyu come with me? Today, at Bai Wuxi's birthday party, there will also be a Shuro field? Li Yuan was thinking a little in his mind. In this situation, he could only bite the bullet, hold flowers in his hands, come to Bai Wuxi, who looked excited and blushed, smiled and said, "Xiaobai, happy birthday. Dear princess, please get in the car." Chapter 235 Birthday Party or Proposal Ceremony. Li Yuan came to the fairy-like Bai Wuxi, bowed slightly, and sent 33 bouquets of roses representing 3 lives, eternal love to her. Then, the words "Happy Birthday" and "Princess, please get in the car" made Bai Wuxi, who was surrounded by everyone watching, burst into tears. Bai Wuxi took the bright red rose, and without caring about the exclamations and glances of her classmates, friends, and passers-by, she stood up on her tiptoes, put her arms around Li Yuan's neck, and kissed her affectionately. Such a scene made the surrounding melon eaters talk in an uproar and took out their mobile phones to take photos and record them. Oh my God, I really envy this girl. Isn't it just a birthday? This ceremony feels like a wedding. I really want to say, let go of my summer flower boy and let me do it. I heard that the summer flower goddess has several girlfriends. Look at that tall and beautiful girl wearing black stockings. She seems to be another girlfriend of the summer flower goddess. She is the school beauty of our school. Hee. I want to know how she felt when she saw this scene. Hey, in this hummed up society, rich people can have several girlfriends at the same time, but we poor people can't even find a girlfriend. It's really drought that kills people. Waterlogging kills. There are too many gold-worshipping women nowadays. Rich people will eventually get married, but poor people, witness it with your own eyes, too mad, rich people should die. Ha ha ha, although the Xiahua male god is a bit carefree, there is no doubt about his talent. I think there are few in the country who are more powerful than him. In addition to the onlookers taking photos with their mobile phones, there was also a special photographer sitting in the guide car, secretly filming and recording everything, just like a real wedding, recording the entire process. Bai Wuxi hugged Li Yuan's neck tightly as if no one else was around, not caring about being watched and commented by everyone. Li Yuan's body had already reacted to the kiss. It wasn't until Li Yuan said something with a smirk that Bai Wuxi let go of Li Yuan with blushing cheeks. "Xiaobai, if you keep kissing me, I want it a little bit." Bai Wuxi spat with blushing cheeks and snorted. "Brother Stinky, why are you making such a big fuss? It feels like I'm getting married." Li Yuan smiled evilly. "Aren't we planning to give you an unforgettable birthday memory? Hurry up and get in the car. There are too many people watching, and it will become a hot search again by accident." Hearing Li Yuan's self-mockery, Bai Wuxi chuckled. He glanced at the passers-by who were taking pictures, nodded with a blushing face, and was led by Li Yuan into the back seat of the first Rolls-Royce. After Bai Wuxi got in the car. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Ru Xiahua. Chapter 403. Li Yuan came to Zhong Tingyu again. Looking at today's attire in black silk, short skirt, vest, and jacket, he suddenly felt like Lu Ruyan, the emperor of national costumes, the goddess Fan Layman. Facing Zhong Tingyu's half-smiling gaze, Li Yuan coughed and whispered. Ahem, little moon, you guys should get in the car too. Zhong Tingyu looked at Li Yuan's slightly embarrassed expression, blinked her beautiful eyes, and gave him a meaningful look. Without saying a word, he got directly into the back seat of the second Rolls-Royce. Ding Shan Shan, Su Tingro and several other classmates of Bai Wuxi also laughed and joked. Li Yuan, you have made the scene so grand, are you really planning to hold Wei 11's birthday banquet like a wedding banquet? Do you want to experience the feeling of getting married in advance? There are only a dozen of us, and you have found 6 Rolls-Royces. You are truly a rich man. I can't wait for tonight's birthday dinner. Are you Li Yuan? You are more handsome in person than in the photos, hee. I am Wei 11's classmate Jolei. Li Yuan smiled and greeted everyone one by one. All beauties, please get in the car first. After all the girls got on the bus, only 3 high school classmates, Wang Shui, Suji, and Wang Yuchen, were left at the scene. Wang Shui stepped forward with excitement, patted Li Yuan on the shoulder, and joked, Brother Yuan, do you have an accounting table? Li Yuan asked in confusion, why do you need an accounting table? Suji smiled evilly and added, what else can you do? Of course it's to pay for it. You made it look like a wedding. It feels more like a wedding banquet than a birthday party. Li Yuan laughed and cursed, you kid, stop chirping and get in the car quickly. Hey, Brother Yuan, the 3 of us can sit in one car. You go and accompany the bride, Wang Shui joked. Li Yuan glanced at Wang Yuchen, who was staring at him from the corner of his eye. His gaze felt as if he could eat him, and he couldn't help but shudder. Okay, let's talk about it when we get there. I'll go there first. In the first Rolls-Royce, only Li Yuan and Bai Wuxi were sitting in the back row. Bai Wuxi held the flowers in her hands and glanced at Li Yuan, her cheeks still flushed. Brother, thank you. Li Yuan grabbed Bai Wuxi's hand and smiled, don't thank me in a hurry. When you get there, see if you are satisfied with the birthday party I prepared. Bai Wuxi, as long as I can be with you, I will be happy. Li Yuan wanted to ask why you suddenly invited Zhong Tingyu, but he was too embarrassed to ask. Sometimes he couldn't understand what the current relationship was between Zhong Tingyu and Bai Wuxi. There were some complicated feelings that he couldn't understand. Anyway, Xia's Haijin had almost no communication with them. Li Yuan touched Bai Wuxi's head, smiled, and talked about the past. Xiaobai, this is the 3rd birthday I celebrate for you, and it is also the 1st birthday since we are officially together. I hope you like it. Bai Wuxi leaned next to Li Yuan and replied softly, well, time flies so fast. In the blink of an eye, I am already 19 years old. I have known you for more than 3 years since I was a freshman in high school, and it has taken up 1/5 of our lives. Li Yuan sighed with emotion, time flies so fast. I still remember that when I first met you, you were still an ignorant little girl with a high ponytail and a fat school uniform. You were sitting in front of me and you were very shy when speaking. When I have nothing to do, I like to ruffle your hair with my hands. When you turn around and smile at me, my heart will melt. Oh, in the blink of an eye, more than 3 years have passed. It's been a really long time. Listening to Li Yuan talk about the past, Bai Wuxi's cheeks were slightly red, and scenes appeared in her mind. In high school, she had a great crush on Li Yuan, but due to study reasons, she always behaved aloof. Thinking back to those ignorant scenes of youth, Bai Wuxi answered with emotion. Yes, it has been 3 years. I hope that in the next 10 or 23 years, we can be with each other, from youthful ignorance to grey temples, just like the song When You Get Old, as the poem says. Li Yuan smiled, looked at Bai Wuxi's cheek, and nodded seriously, yes, we will keep going. In the second Rolls-Royce, Zhong Tingyu and Ding Shanshan were sitting together, and the two of them were also whispering. Ding Shanshan, Tingyu, I remember, your birthday must be early, right? Zhong Tingyu nodded, well, I'm in March, there's still some time left, after the freshman semester starts. Ding Shanshan joked, I'm a little curious about what Li Yuan will do when you celebrate your birthday. Today's pomp and ceremony is like a wedding ceremony. Zhong Tingyu pursed her lips and smiled softly. Looking at the Rolls-Royce in front of her, she seemed to see Li Yuan and Bai Wuxi talking about love there. As today's protagonist, Bai Wuxi deserves everyone's attention, including Li Yuan. Although she felt a little sour in her heart, she could understand Li Yuan's choice. At this time, trying to get jealous would only make Li Yuan dissatisfied. While the two were chatting, the Rolls-Royce motorcade drove into the entrance of a luxury hotel called Splendid Star and stopped slowly. Li Yuan touched Bai Wuxi's head and said with a smile, Xiao Bai, get off the car, we're here. Bai Wuxi held Li Yuan's hand tightly and said sweetly, yes, brother. As everyone got off the car, they looked at the hotel that looked like a holiday villa with curiosity, and whispered to each other. Wang Lixia joked, wow, Jinxiu Star, this hotel looks very high-end. The place Li Yuan chose must be extraordinary. Deng Maiki also said, it's quite far from our school. It took nearly half an hour to get there. However, this luxury car worth millions is comfortable to sit in. As everyone got off the car, a middle-aged man in a Zhongshan suit came over and bowed to greet Li Yuan. Mr. Li, welcome to Jinxiu Star. Everything has been arranged. Please follow me. Well, Manager Zhou, lead the way, Li Yuan replied, looked at the others and said with a smile. Handsome guys and beautiful girls, we are here, come over. After entering the hotel, there is a magnificent lobby. The male and female waiters in the lobby are all young and handsome men and beautiful women. This looks like a resort hotel. I seem to have heard of it somewhere. Li Yuan is holding a birthday party for Wei 11 here, Zhou smiled with curiosity. She is a local of Shanghai and is quite familiar with Shanghai. Let's go in and take a look. I'm looking forward to it even more. Wang Shui also looked at the hotel, which is located on the bank of the Huangpu River. It is surrounded by skyscrapers, showing the luxury of the hotel. He also sighed. Brother Yuan is really generous. It must cost a lot of money to hold a birthday party here. Su Ji patted Wang Shui on the shoulder and smiled meaningfully. Xiao Shui, Brother Yuan's status is different now. He holds a birthday party for his girlfriend, so it must be high-end and classy, don't you think so? Wang Shui laughed, of course, Brother Yuan is the CEO of a company worth over 100 million yuan, so it must be different. As the group talked and laughed, they came to the back garden of the hotel. The resort hotel chosen by Li Yuan naturally has a top-notch environment, backed by the Huangpu River. A stage has been set up on the green lawn, and there are photos of flowers, balloons, lights, and various decorations everywhere. Many of these pictures were found by Li Yuan from Bai Wuxi's space album. Most of them were beautiful photos of Bai Wuxi, and there were also some group photos with Li Yuan. In the middle of the lawn, a stage covered with flowers and balloons was set up. Behind it were colorful English letters of happy birthday made up of crystal pendants, and a 19 number as tall as a person, representing that this was Bai Wuxi's 19th birthday. Around, there were all kinds of high-end and exquisite snacks, cakes, fruits, and drinks. Around, there were also hotel staff wearing birthday suits, clapping on the side, and a special band playing pleasant light music to cultivate the atmosphere. Seeing the birthday party scene, everyone except Li Yuan widened their eyes and exclaimed, wow, this scene is so beautiful, and all kinds of flowers are used, lilies, peonies, roses, I counted, there are at least more than 10 kinds of flowers, hundreds of them, this is too luxurious. Brother Yun is so considerate and generous. There is a photo of Xiao Bai. It was taken by Brother Yun during a physical education class on the playground. At that time, they were not officially together yet. I was deeply impressed. This scene is even more beautiful than some wedding scenes I have attended. This is just a birthday party. If there is a boy who has done so much for me and proposed to me right here, I will immediately agree. Amid the exclamations and envious voices of the classmates around him, Bai Wuxi watched these scenes and was already deeply moved. She covered her mouth with surprise and tears flowed down. Brother, thank you, I am really touched. Li Yuan stepped forward and held Bai Wuxi's hand, smiling, as long as you like it, time is short and preparations are not sufficient. Bai Wuxi stared at Li Yuan with emotion and said emotionally, Brother, it's already very good, I like it very much. Li Yuan, Xiao Bai, I will definitely give you an unforgettable birthday tonight. At this time, a beautiful host in a red cheongsam has made a brilliant appearance and came to the center of the stage, holding a microphone, and her voice resounded throughout the audience. Hello handsome men and beautiful women, I am the host Lu Ying, and I am honored to host today's birthday party. Everyone has a program in their hands, including various fun games and special performances of our hotel. Now I will introduce the rules of each game to all the distinguished guests. On the bamboo chairs in the back row of the stage, Zhong Tingyu looked at the exquisite card in her hand, which described in detail the various activities of today's birthday party, such as you draw and I guess, bonfire feast, music zone, birthday wishes, etc. Zhong Tingyu looked at Bai Wuxi on the stage, and suddenly felt envious. Although, in that story, Li Yuan and Bai Wuxi had a bad ending, but in this life, this man still couldn't forget her and couldn't let her go. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 404. Ding Shan Shan, who was standing by, quietly touched Zhong Tingyu's arm and asked in a low voice. Tingyu, are you envious? I'm busy today and have been on the road all the time. I only have 4,000 words, sorry. Chapter 236. Both girlfriends are drunk. Good thing, 8,000 words, monthly ticket for studying. Zhong Tingyu would be lying if she said she wasn't envious. It's impossible for any girl not to be envious of such a dreamy scene. The dreamy birthday party interwoven with flowers, balloons, ribbons, music, food, etc. will naturally cause many waves in the hearts of young men and women present. Just like Wang Yuchen, who was standing by, looking at the surrounding scenes, his eyes were shining, and his mind was full of fantasy. This kind of life, this kind of birthday party, is the birthday that girls should celebrate, not just a simple meal together, singing a birthday song, eating some birthday cake, and making a wish that is difficult to achieve. Wang Yuchen looked at the host introducing on the stage, and couldn't help but take Suji's hand and spoke with expectation. Suji, I really like this kind of scene. It's full of ritual. It's great. I want to celebrate my birthday like this. Suji's heart skipped a beat. He suddenly remembered that Wang Yuchen's birthday was in mid to late November. It was October 31st now. There was not much time left. When Wang Yuchen said this, her expectant eyes showed what she wanted. It was self-evident. This made his scalp tingle. Li Yuan was worth over 100 million yuan and was a veritable billionaire. So how could he afford such a luxurious birthday party for Bai Wuxi? Although Suji didn't know how much money Li Yuan spent on this birthday party tonight, with 6 Rolls-Royces, a scene full of flowers, a ceremony comparable to a wedding ceremony, and a professional beauty host. All these things require a lot of money. Facing Wang Yuchen's expectant eyes, Suji could only nod his head. Yuchen, of course, I will definitely give you an unforgettable birthday party. Hearing Suji's promise, Wang Yuchen was overjoyed, and kissed Suji on the cheek. He, classmate Su, this is a reward for you. Being kissed on the cheek by Wang Yuchen in public, Su Ji was immediately moved, and held Wang Yuchen's hand tightly, and answered solemnly. Yuchen, don't worry, you will have what other girls have. Su Ji's confidence in saying this was the balance of more than 100,000 in his bank card. Hearing Su Ji's words, and thinking of the other party who often gave her various gifts and took her to eat delicious food in the past few days, Wang Yuchen was very satisfied and responded with a smile. He, dear, you are so nice. After the beautiful host gave the opening remarks and introduced the 10 activities of today's birthday party, she started to hold various small games to mobilize the emotions on the scene. As a professional team and professional host, they have held numerous birthday parties at Jinxiu Star, and they can easily play various games to arouse emotions. Hello handsome men and beautiful women, the first game we are going to start is called I Ask You to Answer. If you answer correctly, you will get a red envelope as a reward. Lu Ying raised a handful of red envelopes in her hand, which they had prepared in advance. She glanced at Li Yuan and Bai Wuxi who were sitting together in the first row, and continued to arouse the emotions of the audience. Mr. Li has spoken today. As long as the atmosphere is good, there will be no shortage of red envelopes. Everyone wait a moment, and you must answer quickly. Ahem, are you ready? I'm going to ask the first question. Bai Wuxi's college classmates, such as Wang Lisha, Deng Miki, and Zhou Lei, immediately began to cheer in response. Ready. The host held the microphone, holding a piece of colored paper in his hand, and read out the first question. First question, what is Bai Wuxi's mobile phone number? Don't look at your phone. Countdown, 3, 2. The people in the audience had never expected that the first question the host asked would be such a question. People like Suji, Ding Shanshan, Wang Lisha, etc. all looked at each other, frowning and thinking hard. I know. Just when the host was about to say one, a voice suddenly sounded, and Wang Yuchen raised his hand and said a string of numbers loudly. Xiaobai's mobile phone number is 187, 5688. The host heard someone answer the correct answer and announced the result with a smile. Congratulations, beautiful lady, you got it right. This is a red envelope, please take it. The host held the red envelope with his slender fingers and spun it gently. The red envelope drew a beautiful arc in the air, as if it was equipped with GPS, and flew accurately into Wang Yuchen's hands. Wang Yuchen took the red envelope, looking very excited, and shouted at Su Ji and Wang Shui. Yeah, I got the first red envelope. The host continued to stir up the atmosphere to stir up the emotions at the scene. Student, do you mind showing everyone the red envelope you got? Wang Yuchen naturally didn't mind, and opened the red envelope with anticipation, and took out a big red banknote from it. Wow, my most beloved chairman Mao, Mua. Other people at the scene were shocked when they saw a 100 yuan banknote in the red envelope. They are all ordinary college students. If they live frugally, 100 yuan is enough for a week's expenses. In an instant, the atmosphere of wanting to answer and grab red envelopes was aroused. This is the power of red envelopes. Ding Shanshan touched Su Tingro's arm and whispered with emotion. Li Dakazi is really rich. He prepared red envelopes of 100 yuan for a small game. I rarely received 100 yuan in New Year's money during the Chinese New Year. Su Tingro chuckled and joked, Shan, you are in college, and you can still receive New Year's money. Ding Shanshan snorted, he, of course, I am a girl. My brother is 2 years younger than me, so my parents don't give him red envelopes. Su Tingro smiled and said, oh, it's rare. Your parents are advanced in thinking. It's rare to favor girls over boys. Ding Shanshan pointed to the host on the stage and urged, hey, look, the host is asking the second question. Get ready quickly. I have to give Li Dabo a few more red envelopes today. The host saw that everyone was waiting for her to ask the second question with enthusiasm and anticipation, and knew that the atmosphere had been initially mobilized. This kind of use of red envelopes to mobilize the atmosphere on the spot is very common and the most effective thing, whether it is a wedding, birthday party, graduation party, or company annual meeting. Some people may not be short of money, but they will enjoy the fun of grabbing red envelopes. Even if they can only grab a few cents or a few dollars, which is not enough to buy a cup of milk tea, they can be happy for a long time. Today's birthday party has a relatively small number of people, only more than 10 people. If there are more people, she is sure that she can make the atmosphere on the spot more lively. Haha, it seems that everyone is very interested in grabbing red envelopes. Are you ready? I'm going to ask the second question, which is also about today's birthday boy. Tell me loudly, are you ready? Ding Shan Shan, Wang Yuchen and other girls all cheered and answered in unison, ready. The host laughed and said, the second question, what is our birthday boy's favorite drink? Countdown, 3, 2. Minute Maid grape juice. Before the voice fell, a voice sounded from the audience, and it was a strange girl who answered. Li Yuan looked at it and saw that it was a girl named Zhou, who was also Bai Wuxi's college classmate. Bai Wuxi looked at Li Yuan strangely. She didn't know the questions asked by the host, so this could only be the answer given by Li Yuan. She did like to drink Minute Maid grape juice, but she never expected that Li Yuan would even notice this detail. After Zhou answered, she waited confidently for the host to announce the correct answer. Lu Ying looked at the answer in her hand and shook her head with a smile. Sorry, this answer is wrong. Who else wants to answer? There are only 3 chances. Zhou was stunned when she heard the host say that the answer was wrong. Bai Wuxi liked to drink Minute Maid grape juice, which she saw with her own eyes. As a classmate, she often saw Bai Wuxi bring a bottle of grape juice to class. How could it be wrong? Could it be that the drink that Bai Wuxi liked to drink was not Minute Maid grape juice, but something else? Zhou was puzzled. Even Bai Wuxi looked at Li Yuan in confusion, as if asking, why is this answer wrong? Li Yuan shook Bai Wuxi's hand and motioned her to continue listening. At this time, another female voice sounded, it was Bai Wuxi's roommate Wang Lisha. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 405. I guess it's milk tea. The host still shook his head, no, there is still one chance for this question. Which student will answer it? The audience looked at each other, wondering what Bai Wuxi likes to drink. Today, those who can come to Bai Wuxi's birthday party are all close to her and know her better, so they naturally know what she likes to drink. But unexpectedly, the 2 drinks that Bai Wuxi likes to drink are not the correct answer. Wang Shui, who was in the audience, was thinking about what Bai Wuxi likes to drink. A light flashed in his mind. He thought of a drink that Li Yuan seemed to have mentioned that Bai Wuxi liked to drink. Green tea? Host, I guess it's green tea. After Wang Shui's voice sounded, several girls, including Wang Yuchen, showed regret for missing this red envelope. They knew that Wang Shui's answer must be wrong, because they had never seen Bai Wuxi drink green tea. Congratulations, you got it right. However, when the host announced the correct answer, everyone at the scene dropped their jaws, only Wang Shui happily took the red envelope thrown by the beautiful host. Wang Shui proudly put the red envelope on his nose and smelled it, revealing an intoxicated look. Tisk tisk, this red envelope is really fragrant. Suji, who was standing by, saw Wang Shui's intoxicated look and whispered, Xiao Shui, you mean the host smells good, right? Is it that the red envelope has the perfume of the beautiful host? Wang Shui was hit by his good buddy's words, and his face immediately turned red. He shook his head and denied it, and took out 100 yuan bill from it. Bullshit, I mean Chairman Mao is more fragrant, if you don't believe me, smell it. Su Ji teased, haha, we are brothers, how can I not understand you? In the front seat, when Bai Wixi learned that her favorite drink was green tea, she was completely confused. When did she like to drink green tea? He looked at Li Yuan in confusion and whispered his doubts. Li Yuan's heart jumped. This was what he said casually when he checked the answers in the morning. He didn't think about it carefully at that time. It was a subconscious thought in his mind, and then he was busy with other things and forgot it. Hearing Bai Wixi's question, Li Yuan's mind turned rapidly in an instant, and soon he thought of an answer, and answered calmly. Ahem, maybe the host neglected it. I like green tea. Bai Wixi believed it and chuckled, hee, I thought, green tea is also very delicious. Li Yuan smiled and didn't explain much. Perhaps only he knew the truth of this question. Now let's go to the third question. Does anyone know which poem our birthday boy likes the most? Who wrote it? As soon as the host finished speaking, someone answered immediately. I know this. Xiaobai's favorite is Caog's The Goddess of Luo River. Congratulations to the student, the answer is correct. As questions were asked one by one, 8 red envelopes were snatched back by those who answered the questions correctly, and the atmosphere on the scene instantly reached a new peak. The first fun game has ended. Now, let's start the second game. You draw, I guess. We will select 3 teams from below, 2 people in a group, and say which characters are on the cards without revealing the characters. This session takes 3 minutes. Each group is randomly selected. The one with the most correct answers can get the surprise big red envelope in my hand. This game is really simple. Most of the students present have played it when participating in various fun activities. Even if they haven't played it, as long as they hear the rules of the game, they will understand it instantly. Bai Wixi looked at Li Yuan with eager eyes, blinking his eyes, and the meaning is self-evident. He just said, brother, I want to play directly. Li Yuan held Bai Wixi's hand and nodded with a smile. Okay, we'll form a group of 2. After seeing Li Yuan and Bai Wixi take the initiative to participate, Wang Yuchen immediately pulled Su Ji to sign up. The host smiled and said, there is still one group missing. Any students who want to participate can form a team freely. Under the stage, Ding Shanshan saw Li Yuan and Bai Wixi on stage, tilted her head to Zhong Tingyu's ear, and joked. Tingyu, Li Yuan, and Wixi are on stage, do you want to go up and play with me? Zhong Tingyu looked at the mischievous joke in Ding Shanshan's eyes and shook her head. She came to Bai Wixi's birthday party today just because she was invited by the other party. Otherwise, she would not take the initiative to come. Besides, even Li Yuan didn't mention this to her, and his other girlfriend Xiao's Haijin didn't come either. At this time, she just wanted to quietly appreciate their happiness under the stage. Today, only Bai Wixi is the protagonist, not her. Zhong Tingyu smiled faintly, if you want to play, you and Tingro can play together. Ding Shanshan was indeed eager to try, mainly because she had just grabbed a red envelope and her emotions were already mobilized. Tingro, let's go up and grab all of Li Yuan's red envelopes. Okay, Su Tingro agreed decisively. With the progress of one interesting game after another, nearly 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. Everyone present, except Zhong Tingyu who had not taken any action, had grabbed several red envelopes by playing games. Wang Yuchen, who seemed to be having fun and was familiar with Li Yuan and Bai Wixi, had more than 2-digit red envelopes in his hand, and the smile on his face never stopped. There was 100 yuan in each red envelope, and more than 10 red envelopes were equivalent to 2 months of living expenses. The beautiful host had been hosting small games to guide the atmosphere on the scene, and her throat was a little fuming. Dear handsome men and beautiful women, today's fun games at the birthday party are over. Did you have fun? Did you have fun grabbing red envelopes? Wang Yuchen, Wang Lisha, Ding Shanshan, and others all waved the red envelopes in their hands and answered loudly. Happy, enjoyable. The host changed the subject and said, before the next session, let's send birthday wishes to our birthday boy based on the number of red envelopes grabbed by each person present. Whoever grabbed the most red envelopes, please raise your hand and be the first to come on stage. As soon as the host finished speaking, everyone in the audience began to look at each other's grabbed red envelopes. Lili, how many red envelopes did you get? I saw that you guessed multiple songs in the third item music zone, and your results were far ahead, and you got so many red envelopes. Hee, wait a minute, let me count. I got a total of 9 red envelopes, 4 of which were from guessing songs. How about that? Awesome, right? I just don't know if I'm the first. It shouldn't be. Way 11's high school girl classmate should have grabbed the most red envelopes, and the boy next to her also grabbed a lot. Mikey, how many red envelopes did you grab? It can't be the least, right? I only grabbed 4 red envelopes, but it shouldn't be the least. There is someone else who got the least. I didn't even see her on stage. Hey, are you talking about Tingyu? Goose, indeed, she didn't go on stage from beginning to end. This scene is a bit embarrassing. Tingyu should be in trouble meaning. Ha ha ha, it's a bit embarrassing. If I were Tingyu, I might not be able to help but stand up and steal Wixi's limelight. Soon, the number of red envelopes that were grabbed was counted. Wang Yuchen was the first with 14 red envelopes, Wang Lisha was second with 11, and Su Ji was third with 10. Wang Yuchen came to the stage, and with the surrounding band playing music, he looked at the fairy-like Bai Wuxi, spoke affectionately, and sent his birthday wishes. Xiaobai, we have known each other for more than 6 years, from junior high school to now. I have witnessed every birthday since I met you, but today's birthday should be the most special for you. Because we came to the Magic City, left our parents, left our hometown, and because you found the destined him. Xiaobai, I wish you all the best in the future, always smiling, and walk sweetly with someone, and walk into another palace. After Wang Yuchen finished speaking, he looked at Bai Wuxi, whose beautiful eyes were already filled with crystal tears, and hugged her tightly. Hee, Xiaobai, happy birthday. Bai Wuxi also replied with emotion, thank you, Yuchen, we will always be best friends. Then, it was Wang Lisha who came on stage to send birthday wishes. Wuxi, although we have known each other for only more than 2 months, you have left the deepest impression on me. Not only because of your fairy-like appearance, but also because of your kind heart. Xiaobai, I wish you a happy birthday, happy every day, and happy forever. As everyone came up to the stage to send birthday wishes, it was soon Zhong Tingyu's turn. Everyone in the audience, except the host, knew the relationship between Zhong Tingyu, Li Yuan, and Bai Wuxi. When Bai Wuxi saw Zhong Tingyu on stage, she instantly became nervous. When the stage lights fell on Zhong Tingyu's perfect figure and beautiful face, she instantly became the focus of the audience. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 406. Wang Shui whispered, Brother Yuan has a good eye. The second sister-in-law's appearance and figure are really perfect. No, there are also the third sister-in-law and the fourth sister-in-law. They are all beautiful girls at the school level. Any one of them is the undisputed #1 beauty in our school. I am really envious. I dare not imagine how happy Brother Yuan is. Su Ji teased, when you are as rich and talented as Brother Yuan, you can also find a few more beautiful girlfriends. Wang Shui pouted, how many? If I can find one like the 4 sisters-in-law, I can worship them every day. Damn, now you and Brother Yuan are both single, and I am the only single dog. No, I have to find a girlfriend quickly. Ding Shanshan also leaned close to Su Tingrou's ear with a strange look on her face and asked, Tingrou, guess what blessing Tingyu will send? I don't know either. Su Tingrou shook her head. She really didn't know how Zhong Tingyu should send birthday wishes to her rival in love. Li Yuan was also anxiously waiting for Zhong Tingyu to speak, but he was not too worried because she was a smart woman. Smart women often say smart things. Zhong Tingyu opened her pearly teeth slightly, looked at Bai Wuxi with her beautiful eyes, and spoke slowly. Wuxi, sometimes I envy you, and sometimes I hate myself. But since we have met, facing this choice, it is difficult for us to let go. Wuxi, I wish you a happy birthday, and I hope that you will be as happy as today in your future birthdays. By the way, Wuxi, I sincerely say this. You are really beautiful today. After Zhong Tingyu finished speaking, she walked off the stage in the slightly puzzled eyes of the host. As a professional host, she smelled a little bit of something wrong just now. All classmates, please send your birthday wishes to our birthday boy today. Before the birthday boy's boyfriend Mr. Li sends his special birthday wishes, let's enjoy the special program bonfire feast prepared by our hotel. I hope you like it. As the host finished speaking, 19 flames suddenly sounded at the same time beside the green lawn. Then, under the astonished gaze of the audience, 19 fireworks suddenly rang out in the sky, forming gorgeous patterns in the sky. Wow, such a beautiful rain of fireworks, record it quickly, I didn't expect to see such beautiful fireworks in Shanghai. It's so beautiful, so romantic, so happy. This birthday party tonight satisfies all my fantasies about birthday parties, flowers, music, food, friends, fireworks, lovers. So many fireworks, Li Dake is really willing to spend a lot of money, too rich. If I were Wei 11, I would be moved to tears. Hurry up and take pictures with your mobile phone, take pictures of everything, and send them to the class group, so that they will envy them to death. We don't need to take pictures at all, there are cameramen on the scene, recording everything. The fireworks rain lasted for about half an hour before it ended with exclamations from the audience. The host came to the center of the stage and invited Li Yuan to the stage. Mr. Li, it's your turn to be the last one to come out. Send the most sincere birthday wishes to your girlfriend. Handsome guys and beautiful girls, where are the applause? Applause is here, Su Ji shouted loudly and clapped vigorously. Other students also applauded, waiting for Li Yuan to send birthday wishes. Everyone was curious. Li Yuan spent a huge amount of money and carefully prepared such a luxurious birthday dinner. What kind of love words would he say to Bai Wuxi in the presence of his other girlfriend Zhong Tingyu? Li Yuan stood on the stage and looked at most of the familiar faces below. He was used to big scenes and was not very nervous. First of all, welcome all classmates. I'm sorry for coming to Xiaobai's birthday party because the preparations were a bit hasty and the hospitality was not good. Today, standing here and sending birthday wishes to Xiaobai is the third time in my life, but this time, it's open and above board. When Li Yuan said this, Wang Yuchen, Su Ji, Wang Shui and others who knew the inside story immediately laughed. As high school classmates, they naturally knew that Li Yuan had celebrated Bai Wuxi's birthday before, but at that time, he only gave birthday gifts secretly, and the birthday party was held with her parents around. Bai Wuxi blushed as she listened to Li Yuan's words, staring at him with a smile. When you like someone, all the little things you've experienced with him are beautiful memories. When you don't like someone, even if he has done a lot for you, it's worthless and you'll forget it completely. Li Yuan looked at Bai Wuxi and gave her his birthday wishes. Xiaobai, I've loved you since I met you in the first year of high school, and since I saw you're back in school uniform. You know, I've loved you. For more than 3 years, 1175 days and nights, at this moment, I just want to say one thing to you. For the rest of my life, I'll just have you. Xiaobai, happy birthday to you. After Li Yuan finished speaking, he looked at Bai Wuxi, who was already in tears, and clapped his hands. The hotel staff had already come to Li Yuan with a red tray. On the red tray, there was a necklace, and the pendant of the necklace had a heart-shaped emerald wrapped in diamonds. When Li Yuan picked up this Tiffany necklace from the tray, there was an uproar in the audience. Wow, 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 this emerald necklace is so beautiful, and it's worth a lot of money. At first glance Li Yuan is so cool, and he's so kind to Wei 11. I seem to have seen this necklace on Tiffany's official website. It seems to be a newly launched product. It is worth 50,000 to 60,000 yuan. I am deeply envious. Is this the pride of Mr. Li? Is this the love of rich people? If you can experience it once, your life will be worth it. Brother Yuan, my brother Yuan, you made classmate Xiaobai's birthday party so high profile. What should we poor people do? Amidst the discussion in the audience, under the envious eyes of everyone, Li Yuan took this necklace and walked slowly to Bai Wuxi. Xiaobai, let me put it on for you. Yeah. Brother, Bai Wuxi's moved eyes seemed to have melted, and he wished he could melt into Li Yuan's body immediately. Li Yuan held up Bai Wuxi's hair with his fingers, revealing his flawless and slender neck. He moved close to her body and slowly brought her up. There was a faint numbing feeling between his fingers and skin. After putting the necklace on Bai Wuxi couldn't bear it anymore, hugged Li Yuan's neck and kissed her again. The host started clapping at the right time to arouse the mood. It's really an honor to witness this touching and sincere love. Let us give our applause to the newlyweds, to the lovers. In an instant, the audience burst into thunderous applause. Zhong Tingyu in the audience looked at Li Yuan, who was having sex with Bai Wuxi in the center of the stage, and suddenly felt sour in her heart. Any girl would feel uncomfortable if she saw her boyfriend kissing other girls in public, while her friends around her were applauding happily, right? At some point, her vision suddenly became blurry, and mischievous tears ran down her cheeks, like naughty children, scrambling to escape from the garden world in her eyes. After a long time, Li Yuan and Bai Wuxi slowly separated. Li Yuan glanced at the time on his watch. It was almost 9 o'clock in the evening, and motioned to the host. The host understood and immediately started to hold the last program bonfire reception according to the original plan. The large projection screen was unfolded, white mist appeared on the stage, and dynamic music played. All kinds of seafood, barbecue, pastries, delicacies, etc. were pushed aside by the waiter, and various prepared drinks were also served by the waiter. The host said, "Now, let's start our penultimate program tonight, the bonfire reception. We invite all the handsome guys and beauties to enjoy eating delicious food, drinking fine wine, and singing your favorite songs. Let's shake it up and move it together." As the host finished speaking, the music suddenly sounded, turning into an open-air bar, and the rhythm began to move. Li Yuan said something in Bai Wuxi's ear. Bai Wuxi held the microphone with blushing cheeks and spoke slowly to the accompaniment of music. "Thank you all for coming to my birthday party. Now I bring you a song, White Moonlight and Cinnabar Mole. This song was written for me by my favorite boy. The songs of the past are all wrapped around my fingertips, and the unobtainable beauty is always in my heart." As Bai Wuxi started singing, the atmosphere at the scene reached its peak in an instant. The students in the audience also began to eat delicious food, taste fine wine, let their hearts fly, and integrate themselves into this open-air bar. Zhong Tingyu watched this scene, and was also tasting the prepared cocktail alone. Her cheeks were slightly tipsy, and she didn't know when she was also a little drunk. There are 8,000 words today. Please vote for me and subscribe. Chapter 237 Lee Scumbag, no, you came at the right time, please vote. At this birthday party, some people were happy and some were worried. The happiest person was undoubtedly Bai Wuxi, the birthday girl today. She was moved to tears from beginning to end and was very emotional. A pair of small hands held Li Yuan tightly from beginning to end, unwilling to let go. They followed him wherever he went, enjoying the light of Li Yuan's only real girlfriend at this moment. Under the dynamic music beat, the bonfire reception is not as lively as a real bar, but because we are all acquaintances and can sing on the stage, the atmosphere is more lively, like a combination of a bar and a KTV. Li Yuan took a glass of prepared drink from the bartender and handed it to Bai Wuxi. Out of the corner of his eye, he secretly glanced at Zhong Tingyu, who was drinking alone in the corner. Zhong Tingyu acted like an invisible person today, without the slightest sense of existence, and seemed not to want to snatch the gleam of light that belonged to Bai Wuxi. However, no matter how low-key she is, wherever she stands, she will shine and attract the attention of others. This naturally includes Li Yuan. Li Yuan looked at Zhong Tingyu, who was drinking alone, feeling a little melancholy. He really wanted to go over, hug little Moon into his arms, and take good care of her. However, today is Bai Wuxi's birthday party, so it is not appropriate to do so. He could only hold back the throbbing in his heart and concentrate on staying with Bai Wuxi. Xiao Bai, try this martini, it tastes pretty good. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 407. Bai Wuxi was in an excited mood today, and with Li Yuan and his classmates by her side, she also relaxed her heart, took the wine glass, and took a sip. Brother, it tastes pretty good, a bit sweet. This kind of cocktail tastes much better than liquor and beer. It's a bit like the Rio of the future and is more suitable for girls to taste. Try the delicacies prepared by the hotel. They are all freshly baked. There are all kinds of seafood, barbecue, and pastries. You can eat whatever you want. Li Yuan reached for a piece of steak, gently separated it with a knife and fork, forked a piece, and brought it to Bai Wuxi's mouth. Bai Wuxi opened her red lips happily. This kind of bonfire reception directly omits the method of eating together at the big table, and turns it into a dining method similar to an open-air buffet, which is closer to a birthday party in Western countries. This method is more suitable for today's scene. The crowd was full of young people who were only in their first year of college. They accepted new things quickly. They could eat, drink, chat and sing at the same time. While Bai Wuxi was enjoying Li Yuan's feeding, she pointed at the stage with a blush on her face and said with a smile. Brother, listen, Yuchen is singing a duet with Suji. Their relationship is much better now. Li Yuan took a closer look and saw that this boy Suji actually led Wang Yuchen on stage to perform a love song duet. His mind suddenly flashed back to the unexpected third-kind encounter that night, and a strange emotion suddenly arose in his heart, which he quickly expelled. Don't bully your friend's wife, he is a serious person. Li Yuan didn't have a very good impression of Wang Yuchen. Wang Yuchen's level of green tea was much higher than that of Bai Wuxi, and he had a very obvious tendency to worship money. As the saying goes, those who are close to vermilion are red, and those who are close to ink are dark. In the past life, Bai Wuxi gradually became a bit green tea. It must have something to do with her being a good best friend. When chatting with Suji last night, although he didn't ask in detail, he could guess that the reason why Suji privately sold some Biguanti stocks was probably to cash out and maintain his relationship with Wang Yuchen. Therefore, in the past few days, Wang Yuchen and Suji have resumed their close relationship. Li Yuan looked at Suji, who sang the song affectionately, and murmured to himself, Daji, today is such a good opportunity. If you can't win her first blood, don't blame me for looking down on you. He had an intuition in his heart that if Suji could take down Wang Yuchen today, then everything would be okay. At least Suji's long-term efforts would be somewhat rewarded. If you still can't take it, then you may really be taken advantage of like in your previous life. The more you invest, if you cannot see gains quickly, it means you have paid a huge sunk cost. You can only be like a gambler, keep investing until you lose everything. In his previous life, he fell into a gambler's trap and paid too much before he became a fan of the authorities. When that time comes, it is really difficult to get out and stop the bleeding in time, because all the chips you have been lost. And in this life, like when you are with Zhong Tingyu, Xiao's Haijin, and Zhang Ziyu, you can take it step by step, enjoy the feeling of constantly testing sensitive boundaries, and have a long-distance love race. However, he was afraid of falling into the gambler's trap again and chose a quick strategy. While Li Yuan chatted with Bai Wuxi, he used his peripheral vision to observe the reactions of everyone present. Suddenly, his eyes caught sight of his high school best friend Wang Shui. This single guy, like a cat that smelled something fishy, was showing his attentiveness to a girl named Zhou. The two of them seemed to be chatting happily. Li Yuan asked curiously, "Xiaobai, what's going on with Zhou in your class? Does she have a boyfriend?" When Bai Wuxi heard Li Yuan ask this question, her subconscious reaction was that Li Yuan had taken a liking to another college classmate of hers. Bai Wuxi asked very vigilantly, "Zhou, why are you asking her?" Seeing Bai Wuxi's nervous look, Li Yuan burst into laughter and pointed at Wang Shui to explain. "Look, Xiao's Huai is talking to Zhou. Xiao's Huai has always wanted to find a girlfriend. I want to see if Zhou is a good match." Bai Wuxi followed the direction pointed by Li Yuan and breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Wang Shui and Zhou talking and laughing, as if they were having a good conversation. He covered his mouth and chuckled, "Huh, stinky brother, I thought you fell in love with my classmate again." Li Yuan muttered awkwardly, "How is that possible? How can I be so carefree and fall in love with everyone I see?" Bai Wuxi rolled her eyes at Li Yuan, gently pinched Li Yuan's waist and abdomen with her small hands, and snorted, her tone full of jealousy. "How dare you say you don't care? You already have 4 girlfriends." Li Yuan smiled. He was probably a playboy in everyone's heart. Just over 2 months after entering college, he already dated 4 girlfriends at the same time. If he wasn't a philandering scumbag, there would probably be no philandering men in the world. Ahem, Xiaobai, the situation is special. You know, I don't like other girls. Bai Wuxi thought of what Li Yuan said, snorted, glared at Li Yuan, and introduced Zhou's situation with a smile. Zhou's family is a native of Magic City. She doesn't seem to have a boyfriend yet. However, I heard from her that there are several boys chasing her. The conditions are relatively good. If Wang Shui wants to pursue Zhou." As Bai Wuxi spoke, his eyes looked at Li Yuan, and his meaning was self-evident. Wang Shui's conditions are still inferior to those of Zhou's suitors. Whether it is height, appearance, knowledge, or family conditions. Li Yuan smiled indifferently. It is normal for Bai Wuxi to have such an idea. She and Zhou are both top students from 985 universities, while Wang Shui is just an ordinary second-tier university. There is a deep contempt chain between universities. Especially the views of girls on boys are particularly deep. Wang Shui has been single since high school. Naturally, there are reasons why he is not very good, including height, appearance, grades and eloquence. Even if his family conditions are pretty good in his hometown county, they are nothing in Shanghai, one of the richest places in the world. However, if Wang Shui has his own help in this life and he is willing to follow him all the time, he may not be able to get a girl like Zhou. If you want to pursue a girl with good conditions in all aspects, you must learn to play to your strengths and avoid weaknesses, give full play to your strengths, and make your strengths attractive enough to the other party. Or, lower the other person's level and make her realize that she is not that good. As long as you do these 2 things, there will be no girl you can't chase. If you chase girls like yourself in your previous life, or most of the dog-licking type boys, and praise them highly, you will only end up disappointed in the end. Even if you catch up with them for a short time, the probability of the other party cheating in the future will be very high. Because this is the natural psychology of girls to admire the strong and compete with others, just like men are lustful until death. Li Yuan smiled without comment. Let's wait and see. I think if Xiao Shui really wants to pursue Zhou Lei, he can still do it. Listening to Li Yuan's answer, Bai Wuxi pursed his lips and smiled secretly. He, brother, you don't want to pass on your experience of pursuing girls to Wang Shui, do you? Li Yuan coughed awkwardly. Ahem, I don't have any experience in pursuing girls, you don't understand. Bai Wuxi, humph, how can I not understand you? You were very skilled in the means of pursuing girls in high school, otherwise, you wouldn't have taken them so quickly. Before he finished speaking, Bai Wuxi's cell phone rang suddenly. The moonlight is shining, and you remember his goodness. The cinnabar mole is hard to erase. Bai Wuxi glanced at the caller and smiled sweetly at Li Yuan. Brother, my mother called. Li Yuan smiled and said, well, you go to answer the phone first. Today is your birthday. Uncle and aunt must miss you and want to celebrate your birthday. Bai Wuxi, well, then I'll go to answer it. You eat something first. Seeing Bai Wuxi go to the side to answer the phone, Li Yuan came to each guest with a wine glass and said hello. Today, he is also the male protagonist, so naturally he has to act like a protagonist. Li Yuan came to Wang Lisha and Den Miki, raised his wine glass and gestured. Two beauties, how do you feel? Eat well, drink well, sing well, and have fun. Wang Lisha and Den Miki saw Li Yuan coming, and they quickly stood up, raised their glasses and clinked them with Li Yuan. He, thank you Mr. Li for your hospitality and the big red envelope. It's very nice tonight. I will never forget it in my life. Li Yuan smiled and joked, eat more, drink more, and have fun. If you go back and say you are not full, I will be embarrassed. Wang Lisha smiled, Li Yuan, you are really humorous. I feel that if I eat more, I will definitely gain 10 pounds tomorrow, and my recent weight loss will be in vain. Li Yuan joked, it's okay. Only when you are full can you have the energy to lose weight. Besides, you have a good figure and don't need to lose weight at all. He, Li, you are so sweet. No wonder Wei 11 and Ting Yu are so devoted to you. Li Yuan smiled embarrassedly, haha, you drink first, I'll go over there to see if you two are having fun. Yeah, you go Wang Lisha said. After Li Yuan left, Wang Lisha whispered to Den Miki, Miki, do you have a special feeling when facing Li Yuan? Den Miki joked, what special feeling? Don't tell me that you also like him. What nonsense, Wang Lisha blushed and said with doubt, I don't know why, when facing Li Yuan at close range, I feel scared. Well, it can't be said to be fear. How should I put it? It's like the feeling of awe when facing the principal or the leader. Li Yuan seems to have a special power, which gives people a feeling of oppression. Den Miki nodded gently, I also have the feeling you said. I think it should be the pressure brought by Li Yuan's various identities. He is now earning a monthly income of 100 million yuan. Wang Lisha is a well-known online writer with a net worth of more than 10,000 yuan, a well-known music genius, and the founder of Zhihu.com. It is said that Zhihu.com has been valued at more than 500 million yuan. As long as he sells this website, he can immediately become a billionaire. Facing Li Yuan, sometimes it is like facing a business tycoon. I can't help but feel a little weaker in my heart. Wang Lisha nodded in agreement, I just searched on the internet. Just a birthday party of this level today will cost 50,000 or 60,000 yuan, plus the Tiffany necklace given by Li Yuan, it will cost at least 6 figures. Tisk, with so much money, it can almost pay the down payment for a single apartment in Shanghai. Li Yuan is really willing to spend it? No wonder Wei 11 and Ting Yu are unwilling to break up. Den Miki laughed, whoever breaks up first at this time is a fool. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack to find another boyfriend as handsome, talented, and generous as Li Yuan. It's almost impossible. Wang Lisha nodded in agreement, and then complained with deep emotion. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Ken Ru Xiahua. Chapter 408. Mikey, have you noticed that since Wei 11 and Tingyu fell in love with Li Yuan, our eyesight has become higher? We see them wearing designer clothes and jewelry and driving luxury cars. We have a car and live in a mansion. We always feel that this kind of luxurious life is unprepared for us. When we look at other boys, we always feel that we are a little bit inferior. You know, a few days ago, in the next class, a boy asked me to go out for dinner. It was just a simple hot pot meal. He actually wanted to have sex with me, and then he even struggled to buy a cup of milk tea that cost a few dollars a cup. I'm really speechless. Li Yuan was not aware of the private discussion between the two girls. If he knew, he would probably just laugh it off and take it for granted. This phenomenon has always existed in society, and it is also the fundamental reason why big cities will claim to have 100 million leftover women in the future. If you are used to the feasting of big cities and all kinds of high consumption, how can you be willing to endure hardships and hard work? It is easy to go from frugality to luxury, but it is difficult to go from luxury to frugality. With the rapid development of the economy, material enjoyment is getting better and better, and people's moral bottom line will continue to decrease. The era of laughing at the poor but not at prostitution has begun. After saying hello, Li Yuan quietly came to sit next to Zhong Tingyu, looked at her drunken face, and gently touched her hair. Little Moon, you are in a bad mood. Zhong Tingyu held the goblet, glanced at Li Yuan with blushing cheeks, and asked in a sour tone, Senior, why don't you go to accompany her? Li Yuan rubbed Zhong Tingyu's head and joked, Little Moon, are you drinking wine or vinegar? The vinegar smell is very strong. Humph, you stinky senior, can't you be jealous if you like? Zhong Tingyu snorted and stared straight at Li Yuan. You haven't answered me yet. Li Yuan reached out directly, hugged Zhong Tingyu's waist and held her in his arms, his mouth close to her earlobe. Then, while Zhong Tingyu was trembling slightly, he opened his mouth and gently bit her earlobe. Zhong Tingyu felt as if she was electrocuted, her body trembled slightly, and her face, ears, and neck were instantly stained with a bright red color. Little Moon, your jealous look is so cute and sexy, I can't help but want to eat you. Zhong Tingyu drank some wine and flirtatiously flirted with Li Yuan. Humph, senior, come on, I'm waiting for you to eat me tonight. Touching Zhong Tingyu's charming eyes, the evil fire in Li Yuan's heart was instantly aroused, and his body responded. He didn't care that tonight was Bai Wuxi's birthday party. He hugged Zhong Tingyu and put his mouth on her. At the same time, one hand restlessly wandered over the long legs wearing Balenciaga's black stockings. You, senior, what are you doing? No. Little Moon, you did it first. I can't bear it now. What do you think I should do? Humph, I don't care. Let go of me quickly. Wei 11 will come later and if she sees it, she will definitely be angry. I don't know if she's angry or not. Aren't you angry right now? Jealous Little Moon, I'll call you Lemon Essence from now on. Whoever is jealous is just feeling a little uncomfortable. Ha ha ha, I said you're not jealous, then why are you drinking so much wine alone? Don't tell me that you suddenly like drinking. You're not deliberately using wine to relieve your worries and want to numb yourself. Humph, I don't want you to worry about it. Let go of me quickly. I won't drink anymore. You can let me go, but you have to agree to my request. What if they don't agree? Hey, if you don't agree, I won't let you get out of bed tomorrow. Stupid senior, you are so evil. Why don't you agree to it? Just tell me, what's wrong with you? I won't tell you yet, you will know later. Wei 11 is here, let me go. Zhong Tingyu, who was in her arms, saw Bai Wuxi suddenly approaching, and suddenly struggled violently, trying to break away from Li Yuan's arms. Li Yuan looked at Bai Wuxi walking towards her and waved to her. As soon as Bai Wuxi ended the phone call with her parents, she saw Li Yuan hugging Zhong Tingyu. Seeing Li Yuan waving to her, she came over feeling a little angry. Bai Wuxi's tone was also full of lemon flavor. It seems that I came at the wrong time. Li Yuan patted the wicker chair next to him, motioned for Bai Wuxi to sit down, and smiled. No, you came at the right time. Listening to Li Yuan's words, Zhong Tingyu chuckled and looked at Li Yuan strangely. She always felt that she had heard the sentence somewhere and felt a little unserious. Humph! Bai Wuxi snorted, sat down awkwardly, and leaned against Li Yuan with Zhong Tingyu. With the arrival of Bai Wuxi, what was originally a game between two people suddenly had one more person, and the atmosphere suddenly became a little silent. The two girls stopped talking. When Li Yuan saw this, he felt very helpless. He had previously thought of hugging each other and enjoying the blessings of everyone. Now it seems that it is simply impossible in a short time. When several girls get along together, they don't object to each other and just start fighting, which is already considered good. We have to find a way to stop them from being so tense when they are together. It would be great if they could get along as good sisters like the news they saw before. Li Yuan muttered to himself. If you want to do this, you still need an opportunity. Li Yuan took the initiative to speak out and broke the awkward silence. Xiaobai, uncle and aunt are back home, are everything okay? Bai Wuxi nodded her chin. Well, everything is fine, but I miss myself a little bit. This is the first time I don't celebrate my birthday with them since I was a child. As she spoke, drops of crystal tears appeared in the corners of Bai Wuxi's eyes, rolling in her eye sockets. Obviously, the nearly half-hour call between her parents just now made her miss home a little. Li Yuan wiped Bai Wuxi's eyes and smiled. Hey, Xiaobai, uncle and aunt, did you mention me? Bai Wuxi glared at Li Yuan shyly and nodded. In fact, what she didn't say was that more than half of the half-hour call with her parents was spent asking about things related to Li Yuan. Perhaps, in the eyes of parents, the most feared thing after learning that their baby daughter is in love is that their baby daughter will be hurt emotionally. This is still her parents, who don't know how many girlfriends Li Yuan has. If they knew the truth, Bai Wuxi couldn't imagine the scene. Li Yuan smiled slightly. Say hello to my uncle and aunt for me. After Li Yuan finished speaking, he raised the wine glass in his hand, looked at the two super beauties on the left and right, and smiled. Xiaobai, Xiaoyu, let's have a drink together. It's also a kind of fate to be able to sit here together. Bai Wuxi and Zhong Tingyu looked at each other, raised their wine glasses, and tasted a sip of the wine. Zhong Tingyu asked curiously, Wuxi, has Li Yuan met your parents? Yes, they did. It was during the National Day holiday. They came to Shanghai to see me. Bai Wuxi exhaled a breath of alcohol, and her beautiful eyes stared at Zhong Tingyu's face. This was the first time she looked at her beautiful roommate so seriously after knowing that Li Yuan was dating several women. Bai Wuxi also asked, what about you? Me, Zhong Tingyu smiled and nodded. He has met my mother. Bai Wuxi felt a little uncomfortable when she heard that Li Yuan had also met Zhong Tingyu's mother. She glared at Li Yuan and snorted. Oh, so, brother, you have met our parents. The words were not finished, but the meaning contained in them made Li Yuan tremble slightly. Haha, the moonlight is good today. Come, two babies, have a drink together. Zhong Tingyu looked at Li Yuan suspiciously and snorted, Senior, why do you keep persuading us to drink tonight? Are you trying to do something bad? Chapter 238 Bai Wuxi and Zhong Tingyu's first cooperation. Listening to Zhong Tingyu's teasing words, Bai Wuxi also came back to her senses and stared at Li Yuan with doubtful eyes. From childhood to adulthood, She has only drunk alcohol twice, both when she was with Li Yuan. One time was that night, when I had a seafood buffet with Wang Yuchen, Suji, Wang Shui and other high school classmates. Because I wanted to restore my relationship with Li Yuan, I drank some beer and was half-heartedly accepted by Li Yuan in the haze of alcohol. Today, it was because of her birthday party. I was touched on one hand, and another reason was that Li Yuan took the initiative to hold the glass for her and let her taste it. Bai Wuxi stared at Li Yuan with a very strange tone. "Brother, do you want me and Tingyu to get drunk on purpose?" Seeing that the two girlfriends were staring at him suspiciously, Li Yuan almost spit out a mouthful of wine. I thought to myself, can you not be so smart and point out my little thoughts directly? This will make me very embarrassed. What bad thoughts can I have? I just want you two to get closer and not be so tense. Li Yuan smiled awkwardly. Ahem, no, I just think that at this moment, with the beautiful scenery and the beautiful woman, drinking some good wine is more suitable. If you two don't want to drink, it's up to you. I can drink alone. As Li Yuan spoke, he drank the wine in the cup and calmed down. It's true that this kind of mixed wine is not much better than white wine. The alcohol content is not high, and it rarely happens if you drink too much, but it can also create the feeling of being drunk and tipsy. Zhong Tingyu looked at Li Yuan drinking alone, smoothed a strand of hair, hung it behind her crystal ears, smiled at Li Yuan, and also picked up the wine glass and tasted it. "Senior, if you want to drink, I will drink with you." Zhong Tingyu paused and joked. "You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. If the confession fails, chase her bestie." Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 409. But, I have never drank. If I drink too much, you have to take good care of me. Li Yuan stared at Zhong Tingyu with a blush on her cheeks. She was wearing a bit cool today, and the sweater could not hide the Xiong sisters who were about to come out. She was full of goddess style, and paired with his favorite black stockings. Li Yuan's heart pounded. Could it be that there is still a chance of having that idea tonight? She is indeed my most considerate moon goddess. Li Yuan patted his chest and vowed, "Don't worry as long as I'm here. I promise to take you home safely." "Take us home." Zhong Tingyu glanced at Li Yuan, with a half-smile expression in his eyes. She had long suspected that Li Yuan had unhealthy thoughts in his heart. However, she was embarrassed to point it out. Judging from the current situation, Li Yuan must have had that thought in his mind. Li Yuan pretended not to understand and asked, "It's so late, do you still have to go back to school?" Bai Wuxi glanced at Li Yuan strangely. Her body felt slightly hot. If it had been before the first time, she might have chosen to go back to school. But she and Zhong Tingyu had already given everything to themselves, all the first times, the first time holding hands, the first hug, the first kiss, the first night, the first time, etc. all were handed over to Li Yuan. When it comes to going back to school, I'm just deceiving myself. What's more, she also wanted to be alone with Li Yuan and enjoy the happiness of the world together. "Brother, are you stupid? It's almost 11 o'clock, and the school has been closed long ago," Bai Wuxi said, and then looked at the roommates who were enjoying the birthday atmosphere. "Brother, it's so late and the school is closed. What should Lisa, Mikey, and Yuchen do? I think they all drank some wine." Li Yuan smiled and pointed to the hotel building next to him. "Xiaobai, do you know what this is?" "A hotel?" After Bai Wuxi finished speaking, he suddenly understood and asked doubtfully, "Should they all stay in a hotel tonight?" Li Yuan nodded. "Well, don't worry, I have already arranged everything. This hotel is also a 5-star hotel, which is much more comfortable than staying in the school dormitory. Today is Friday. After a week of classes, I can relax and enjoy myself. You can see how happy they are singing. Isn't this atmosphere better than in a KTV? Biwixi chuckled and clicked his chin. The atmosphere of this live open-air bar was indeed much better than that in KTV. Various audio equipment, band services, flowers, lights, wine, and food are all very good, but the cost must be very high. Biwixi subconsciously touched the necklace Li Yuan just gave her, thinking about everything Li Yuan had carefully prepared for her birthday tonight, which satisfied all her fantasies about the birthday party. She couldn't help but be moved and took Li Yuan's hand, and spoke affectionately. "Brother, thank you for everything you have done for me. I love it very much." Li Yuan laughed and touched her head. "Xiaobai, as long as you like it." "Xiaobai, Xiaoyu, do you too want to go on stage and sing a few more songs?" Biwixi sang the first song White Moonlight and Cinnabar Mole and stopped singing, while Zhong Tingyu never appeared on stage, like a transparent person. Zhong Tingyu bit her lip, looked at Li Yuan, and opened her teeth slightly. "That depends on whether someone is willing to sing a duet with me." Li Yuan pretended not to understand, patted Biwixi on the shoulder, and joked, "Xiaobai, I'd like you. How about you two perform a duet on stage together? That would be really interesting." Zhong Tingyu stared at Li Yuan with a half-smile, which made Li Yuan a little embarrassed. Li Yuan coughed and explained, "Well, I haven't heard you two singing together before. I want to hear it." As he spoke, he pretended to be sorry and sighed. "Oh, it's a pity that this little wish of mine can't come true." Seeing Li Yuan's regretful look, Biwixi blinked her beautiful eyes, bit her lips, looked at Zhong Tingyu again, and plucked up the courage to speak in a low voice. "Brother, if you really want to hear it, I can." "Really?" Li Yuan's eyes suddenly lit up. "Well, as long as you like it, I'll do anything for you." Biwixi answered seriously. After speaking, he did not forget to glance at Zhong Tingyu with his peripheral vision, giving an implicit threat. She is a smart girl, and she also knows that for some reasons, her position in Li Yuan's heart is very special, which can be said to be a mixed blessing. But just like when her parents called her just now, they warned her to cherish this relationship and not be too willful. She really lost a boyfriend like Li Yuan who was so good and was so good to her. She wanted to find another one. It would be difficult. Li Yuan has done so much for himself since high school, and after the college entrance examination, he almost lost him. If she is still unwilling to change and take the initiative to do something for him, like this small wish, she feels that maybe one day, she will completely lose him. Zhong Tingyu naturally saw Biwixi's demonstrative gaze. With a slight smile on his lips, he stood up directly, looked at Li Yuan, and asked with a smile. "Senior, which song do you want to listen to?" Seeing that Biwixi and Zhong Tingyu, two proud girlfriends, were willing to go on stage together and sing for him, Li Yuan suddenly became excited. At first glance, it seemed like nothing, just two girls singing a song together. But only Li Yuan understood what this meant to him. Seeing Zhong Tingyu's straightforward agreement, Biwixi let go of Li Yuan's arm, stood up, and spoke softly. "Brother, whatever you want to hear, I will sing it to you." Li Yuan looked at two beauties with stunning looks. One was Baiyu Egwang, whom he had never loved in his previous life, and the other was a cold goddess recognized by Daxia University, standing in front of him, saying the same words. He was so happy that he almost fainted past. In my mind, I was thinking crazily of songs suitable for girls to sing together. In fact, No Makeup is also suitable for girls to sing in chorus, but it is not suitable for today's occasion. It's hard to get such an opportunity, so naturally I can't find songs that are too sad, which can easily cause mood swings. Suddenly, a very sweet song that was suitable for girls to sing appeared in Li Yuan's mind. Xiaobai, Xiaoyu, can you two sing the song Primrose?" Biwixi and Zhong Tingyu nodded in unison. Although this song is not particularly popular, it is very popular because of its relaxed rhythm. Most girls have heard it and it is not difficult to sing. The most important thing is that this song is a very sweet song. The original singers of the song Sweetie are two very good-looking girls. Li Yun smiled and said, "Then let's sing this song Primrose, I really like it." Zhong Tingyu glanced at Li Yun strangely, pursed her lips and chuckled, "Senior, I don't expect you to like such a sweet song. I thought that songs like Primrose are only for us girls." "I like it." Li Yun chuckled and joked, "Don't you understand this? Every man with a rough appearance is actually very delicate mentally. What's the saying about tigers and roses? I can't remember it for a while." Bai Wuxi chuckled and answered for Li Yun, "There is a tiger in my heart, and I smell the rose carefully." This sentence is the content of "To Me," past, present and future in a British work, which was praised by a domestic poet Yu Guangzhong translated. Li Yun really didn't know this allusion, so he gave Bai Wuxi a thumbs up. "Xiao Bai, you are amazing. You are indeed a talented woman from 985. Bai Wuxi rolled her eyes at Li Yun and explained with a smile, "When I was in high school, my mother liked to find some English books for me to study, so I came across this book." Li Yun looked like he suddenly understood, and said with emotion, "I mean, no wonder your English is so good. You can score more than 140 points in the exam, which is dozens of points more than me. A poor English learner like him has never read other English books except listening to English teachers in class, let alone reading foreign English works like Bai Wuxi. This also shows how important a family environment is to a person's growth. Bai Wuxi's parents are both teachers, and his mother is from a big city. It is a bit exaggerated to say that she comes from a scholarly family, but the educational environment is definitely much better than that of most families. Therefore, the requirements for her will be much higher." Bai Wuxi blinked her beautiful eyes and joked with a smile, "It's just that you don't study English seriously. When we tutored each other before, when I tutored you in English, you were always inattentive, humph, just like a fool, you just will stare at me." Li Yun coughed awkwardly, feeling a little guilty. Bai Wuxi was right. In the past, the two of them had been roommates for 2 years. In order to share the agreement of going to the same university, they actually tutored each other's homework. He tutored Bai Wuxi in science subjects, mainly physics and mathematics, while Bai Wuxi mainly tutored him in English. However, facing Bai Yueguang in his heart, such a good-looking beauty came to tutor him in his homework. In addition, he himself did not like English, and English was so boring. So, why not take advantage of this opportunity to see her more openly? Zhong Tingyu stood aside, feeling slightly sour in her heart as she listened to Li Yun and Bai Wuxi talking about interesting things in high school. This is the lethality of Bai Yueguang. No matter how much he does or hurts Li Yun, this man will never forget Bai Yueguang in his heart. Li Yun noticed Zhong Tingyu's gaze and coughed, interrupting the recall of sweet and interesting things in high school with Bai Wuxi. "Ahem, Xiao Bai, Xiao Yu, you two go up and sing, I will applaud you from below." Bai Wuxi nodded obediently, "Yeah, brother, let's go." Seeing Bai Wuxi and Zhong Tingyu on the stage together, everyone else at the scene was instantly in an uproar, showing expressions of disbelief. Ding Shinshin's eyes widened and her mouth opened into an O shape, enough to swallow an egg. Hey, Ting Ro, am I right? Wei 11 and Ting Yu are on stage together. Are they going to sing a duet together? Are you kidding me? They met in the dormitory and almost never spoke. Ding Shanshan had an expression of disbelief, and so did Su Tingro. "Well, I feel weird too. Today is Wei 11's birthday. Tingyu has been acting like a transparent person for half the day. He doesn't play games at all, doesn't grab red envelopes, and doesn't steal Wei 11's limelight at all. How come at this time, two people sang together? Weird, so weird." Ding Shanshan frowned, then looked at Li Yuan, who was holding a wine glass, stood up and stared eagerly at the stage, speculating thoughtfully in her heart. I guess it wasn't Li Yuan who asked for it, right? Look at his mean smile, it feels like he has succeeded in his trick. Su Tingro chuckled and said speechlessly, how can you say that about Li Yuan? He is serving you delicious food and drinks. Hee, I am just teasing you like this. Ding Shanshan felt a little guilty and her voice became weaker. However, if Li Yuan asked, it is possible. Wei 11 and Ting Yu have already fallen into it and are under Li Yuan's control. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 410. Besides, everyone knows their situation, and there are no outsiders today. What's the point of singing together? Maybe we can sleep with them when we go back at night. Listening to Ding Shanshan's harsh words, Su Tingro blushed and interrupted quickly, Shan, don't talk nonsense. How could they do that? It's too shameful. Ding Shanshan smiled evilly, Tingro, you don't understand, men are all so nice. Especially Li Yuan is so lustful. If he had the chance, he would think differently. I don't believe it. Su Tingro blushed and said, stop talking, Tingyu and Wixi are singing, listen to which song they sang. Ding Shanshan chuckled and glanced at Li Yuan. The thought in her heart seemed to have taken root in her mind. Off the stage, not only Ding Shanshan and Su Tingro were whispering and discussing in low voices, but everyone else except Li Yuan also looked at the two people on the stage in stunned silence. At this time, different voices emerged in everyone's heart. Brother Yuan, you are awesome, you can actually make two girlfriends sing on stage together, you are truly a role model for me, I can do this anytime, hugging each other and enjoying the blessings of being together. Xiaobai, you used to be such a proud person, why are you willing to sing a duet with Mistress now, is this still you? Hey, Lisa, didn't you say that Wei 11 and Ting Yu barely talk to each other and their relationship is very bad, why are we now singing together on stage? In the discussion of everyone in the audience, Bai Wixi came to the console and found the song Primrose. As the MV for Primrose began to play on the large high-definition screen, the relaxed music rhythm began to play. Everyone in the audience also understood which song Bai Wixi and Zhong Tingyu were singing. Bai Wixi held up the microphone, glanced at Zhong Tingyu, and then looked at the classmates staring at him in the audience, feeling a little nervous. As the rhythm of the music played, she sorted out her chaotic thoughts, adjusted herself, and tried her best to prepare to sing the song. Because this song is a duet between her and Zhong Tingyu, the love rival. She was unwilling to admit defeat, and she couldn't admit defeat, and she didn't want to be compared with Zhong Tingyu in front of so many classmates. Bai Wixi spoke slowly, the evening wind blew the bamboo forest, and the moonlight elongated the silhouette, fireflies twinkling and coins flying all over the mountain. Zhong Tingyu was a little nervous at first, but when Bai Wixi's singing sounded, she suddenly felt relieved. Sometimes, thinking so much only adds to worries. Bai Wixi is not afraid, so what does he have to worry about? Singing is also her strong point. Following the rhythm of the music, Zhong Tingyu also said lightly. The Milky Way in the sky is shining, the wind chimes on the ground are singing, Vega, in the distance, ancient romantic myths. After Zhong Tingyu finished singing, Bai Wixi continued, flowing water, walk by. Both girls showed all their singing skills and were treated highly. The students in the audience were stunned and felt relaxed and happy. After Wang Shui heard this, he cursed, damn it, Daji, I thought Xiaobai's singing was already very good, and brother Yuan's girlfriend is not bad at singing either. I feel that with her good looks and singing voice, if she debuts, she will definitely become a hit. Su Ji grinned and teased, it's not like you haven't heard of how chaotic the entertainment industry is. With brother Yuan's strength, how can he let his girlfriend debut? I'm just making a metaphor, Metaphor, do you understand? Wang Shui was so envious that he almost vomited acid in his heart as he listened to two beauties at the school bell level singing a duet on the stage. Daji, sometimes, I really envy Brother Yuan. I can't even imagine how happy Brother Yuan will be with such an excellent girlfriend. Suji curled his lips. I see that you just had a great time chatting with that girl named Jolei, didn't you? Xiao's Huai, are you tempted? Wang Shui nodded seriously. I'm a little tempted. She talks very elegantly, is very knowledgeable, and is very beautiful. She completely matches all my aesthetics. Suji continued to fight. Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and catch up. After passing this village, there will be no such store. Wang Shui sighed, but, I'm afraid that she will look down on me. She is a top student from 985 University and a native of Shanghai. She is very tall and good looking. I am just an ordinary second-year college student from other places with no talent or money. Not handsome, to be honest, I feel a little inferior. You, handsome man, it turns out that you, too, have low self-esteem. Suji looked shocked when he saw his good friend squirming. Wang Shui had always been very lively in high school, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to do the weird thing of using binoculars to spy on girls. Haha, Xiao's Huai, be more confident. No matter what, you are now a rich man with a 6-digit bank card balance. Thinking about Brother Yuan's strength, we can follow Brother Yuan with peace of mind in the future. We are afraid that there will be no chance of getting rich. As long as now that you have money, are you afraid that you won't be able to find a girlfriend? After hearing what Suji said, Wang Shui's eyes lit up and he nodded quickly. Yes, his conditions are worse than Jolei now, but he has Li Yuan as the leading brother. Based on his relationship with Li Yuan, he will definitely be popular and drink spicy food in the future. There's no need to worry at all. Just like those business tycoons, when they are really prosperous, aren't their good buddies from the past also doing well? As long as you follow the right person, you can achieve. One person attains enlightenment and chickens and dogs ascend to heaven. Daji, you are right. With Brother Yuan here, we have to be more confident. Just like what is written in Brother Yuan's novel, 30 years to the east of the river and 30 years to the west of the river, don't bully young people into poverty. Suji slapped Wang Shui on the shoulder hard and said with a smile, yes, that's how you should think about it. Follow Brother Yuan and be more confident. You will have money, and you will also have a girlfriend. Wang Shui glanced at Wang Yuchen, who was screaming and applauding crazily in front, and touched Suji's shoulder with a strange expression. Daji, stop talking about me. What about you, can you win Little Pepper today? Suji made an okay gesture confidently and said meaningfully, don't worry, I will win it tonight. Wang Shui curled his lips and said jokingly, ha ha ha, I hope you don't brag, otherwise, I will laugh at you forever. The distant bell rings again. Frogs croaked and sang a lullaby. White beach and crescent moon. I love you in your sweet dreams. Primrose grass in lover's hands. The smile of Chunke strolling. Planted blossoms. Brilliant youth. Li Yuan looked at the stage where his two girlfriends, Zhong Tingyu and Bai Wuxi, sang for him passionately, and the happiness in his heart was already overwhelming. Two girls with tall figures and stunning looks, one wearing black stockings, like an urban goddess, the other wearing a white skirt, like the white moonlight in a dream. Such a scene will be unforgettable in this life. Chapter 239. One room, the happiness of three people, 7,000 words, please vote for me. As the song Primrose Grass was sung, several girls in the audience immediately burst into warm cheers and applause. Wow, oh, I didn't expect it. Wei 11 and Ting Yu sang really beautifully. It felt like my ears were pregnant. Wuxi, Ting Yu, here comes another song, it's so beautifully sung. I am a girl and I like them all. If I were a boy, I would be so fascinated that I would be dizzy. It's really sweet to me, the voice is so sweet. Way 11, Ting Yu, please make your debut as a group, I will definitely call you like crazy. Isn't Li Yuan a musical talent? Ask him to compose a chorus song for you too, and it will definitely become popular instantly. Amid the cheers and jokes of Ding Shanshan, Zhou Wang Lisa, and other college classmates, Bai Wuxi and Zhong Tingyu walked off the stage with a hint of drunkenness and blushing cheeks, shyly rejecting their heckles. After singing the song Primrose Grass, both of them breathed a sigh of relief. At least, Li Yuan would not be angry anymore. Tingyu, you sing so beautifully, let's play one more song. Zhong Tingyu, who was stopped by Ding Shanshan, smoothed her hair and smiled. Shanshan, Tingro, you two go and sing, I will just sing this one. Ding Shanshan covered her mouth and chuckled, Tingro and I have sung several songs. There are more than 10 people in the audience, but you and Wuxi have sung the least. Hee, do you want to sing Nan Shan Nan now? Zhong Tingyu glared at Ding Shanshan and snorted, no. Su Tingro shook his head with a smile and continued, and Li Yuan, he didn't sing a single song. Tingyu, please ask Li Yuan to come on stage to sing a song. His songs are so popular, dominating the charts of QDog music and QQ music, I have never heard him sing live. Ding Shanshan also smiled and urged, yes, Tingyu, ask Li Yuan to come over and sing a song for everyone. He is still organizing it today, how can you not show off? Zhong Tingyu blinked her beautiful eyes, looked at Li Yuan who was chatting with two boys, Suji and Wang Shui, and joked. Today is not my birthday. If you want to hear Li Yuan sing, you can ask Wei 11 to call him. Maybe Wei 11 can shout. Ding Shanshan nodded, yeah, I'll go talk to Wei 11. When Bai Wuxi heard Ding Shanshan's suggestion, she glanced at Li Yuan and felt a little uneasy. She was not sure whether Li Yuan would be willing to go on stage to sing for her. Shanshan, let me try. If he doesn't want to sing, there's nothing I can do. Go, it'll be okay. Li Yuan really likes singing. A few days ago, he even sang at a concert. Ding Shanshan accidentally let it slip and stopped quickly. Bai Wuxi smiled lightly, she knew which time Ding Shanshan was talking about. Suddenly, he thought of the song Li Yuan sang for Zhong Tingyu at Jay Chu's concert. He bit his lips, made up his mind, and walked towards Li Yuan. At this time, Li Yuan was chatting with two good buddies, Suji and Wang Shui, talking about topics of interest to men.